Hey meal planners, this is Kara, your favorite cheesy dietitian, here coming at you for 3 reasons today. And really, I'm first of all sorry because I'm a little late because the internet was gone. So I'm thinking it was probably at your house too, but no worries, I'm back. So let me tell you about the 3 reasons I'm here today. First, I want to make meal planning and meal prepping way more accessible, okay? Make it something that you know that you can do, okay? It's approachable, we see it in action right here live, and you know, I'm here for you. So if you're feeling like a little bit of doubt or maybe you're frustrated with your meal planning attempts, I am here for you. That's why I'm here. That's why this community's here, okay? So that's reason number 1. Reason number 2, I'm going to show you what we're actually eating this week at my house, okay? This is real food that we are eating this week. It's not like, oh, these are some sample recipes you could try, all right? They're real foods that we are going to eat this week. And you know what? We're going to like them, gosh dang it. Okay, so I'm telling you what we're eating, not because you have to eat it or because, oh, it's so healthy that you need to try this, or none of that, okay? It's really just to show you, here's some great ideas, okay? You can maybe put them in your meal plan next week if you're feeling stuck, okay? My 3rd reason for coming at you live today is to inspire you to meal plan and prep so that you can save time and money too. All right, I know that you want more time with your family. I know that you want to feel less stressed when you hear that "what's for dinner?" question, okay? So hopefully I can tell you all about what I'm eating with a few little stories along the way, and you'll feel inspired to try meal planning next time, okay? So first, let me start with breakfast. We actually, oh, forgot one thing here. We actually have our normal breakfast this week. Last week we tried a French toast casserole and it was pretty good, but you know what? We missed our favorite. So let me tell you about our favorite. Here are eggs. They look kind of funky, okay, but it's because I sectioned them off just perfectly for our homemade bread. So then what I do is I leave mine just as eggs because I like to make my toast fresh every morning. But I actually make my husband's. Wait, I think I have one. Yep, I have one put together. I make my husband's already as a sandwich, okay? So this is what it looks like without the toast on top. And then, yep, okay, toast, done. Okay, so his sandwiches, all he does is grab them, take them to work, toss them in the microwave for a few seconds, and he has breakfast. If you're like me and you're like, I like my toast fresh, do that. That's perfectly fine. You don't have to do exactly what I do to make meal prep work for you. Okay, so what I do is I make my stuff fresh, but if you're someone who's like, I don't have time for that, instead of making the eggs on toast, maybe try something like a biscuit or a tortilla, something that you don't have to have crispy, okay? So, breakfast taken care of all week. All right, lunches. I have a funny story about this one. So, before I tell you what we're eating, let me tell you we were supposed to be having a recipe from Cheesy Nutrition called Santa Fe chicken pasta. One of the main ingredients though is Alfredo sauce. So I can make Alfredo sauce, but we don't really do it a lot, and honestly it's so much easier just to buy the nice Classico jar. Okay, you don't have to buy Classico, it's just what I like. So I had that on our grocery order, excuse me. Allergies, crazy today. So I had Alfredo sauce on our grocery order, and guess what? They didn't give it to us. So I don't have Alfredo sauce. So like I said, I could probably whip something up and it would be fine, but it's just not gonna be as quick and easy as my nice Santa Fe chicken pasta tossed together meal is, okay? So I did something that I teach my clients to do in one of our advanced modules. And I decided, okay, we're gonna pivot a little, and instead of going with Santa Fe chicken pasta with some weird sauce concoction, I'm gonna look at what we're supposed to have for lunch next week. Remember, I plan 8 weeks at a time. So next week we were supposed to have fried rice. And I think, light bulb, fried rice has everything that's a staple for us. So we've got brown rice, we've got frozen, already cooked, shredded pork sirloin. Couldn't think of what that was called. That's a mouthful. So we had, our pork was already cooked. It uses eggs. You know we have eggs because, hello. And then we've got soy sauce, garlic, chili paste. I don't even remember what else I threw in there in terms of veggies. I just threw, okay? So fried rice. It's a staple meal around here. So that is actually what we're having. So we have our fried rice with eggs and pork already ready for lunches. They're just grab and go. And of course we are gonna have, we have some clementines, we have apples, we have baby carrots. I've got some broccoli in there and some celery. We got plenty of options to go with it, but the main dish, super, just grab it, warm it up when it's time, okay? Next, we have 3 dinner meals this week, all right? And the first one kind of looks like a hot mess in here, but it is called Sloppy Joes for a reason, right? So we're having Sloppy Joes, and they're actually gonna be on some whole wheat buns, which I forgot to get out, but these Sloppy Joes are actually made with just a few ingredients that you probably already have at home. There's no canwich going on here. It's just a few ingredients from your fridge, maybe 1 or 2 from your pantry. Throw them all together and voila, you have your sauce, okay? So I made this super easy because I was using a method called component prepping. And a few weeks ago, I actually cooked all this ground meat, put it in individual baggies and froze it. And I, of course, marked what it was on there so I didn't forget. But all I had to do was yesterday, pull that bag out of the freezer, put it in, I put it in a little Tupperware in my fridge. And then that way when it defrosts, you don't get like all the like melting liquid everywhere, the pool of who knows what. So I just had to defrost the meat, mix together the sauce with those few ingredients, and then put it together. And I'm done. So that probably was like a 5-minute meal, right? So the sauce and, well, the meat too, is actually a recipe on cheesynutrition.com, so you can check that out. But it really just uses a few ingredients. And the first one is actually a can of tomato sauce. That actually led into something I'm trying new this week. It's homemade taco sauce. I made a lot of taco sauce, by the way. I'm gonna have to freeze some of this. But homemade taco sauce, it just uses the tomato sauce, some water, vinegar, and spices. And I just threw it on the stove for like 15-20 minutes till it thickened up. And it's gonna go with our tacos, which just like the Sloppy Joe meat, I actually cooked ahead of time. See, it says tacos. Of course, it's probably backwards for you, but we got tacos this week. And I have beans to go for mine. So this is like a combination of ground chicken and ground beef with the low sodium taco seasoning on cheesynutrition.com. And these are just black beans that I cooked ahead of time and froze in these like small containers so that they're perfect for me for a few tacos. So sorry, forgot to take my allergy pill. So that's our tacos for the week. We talked about the Sloppy Joes. Next, this is a recipe I'm working on that I think you guys are really gonna like because there's just something so appealing about a sheet pan dinner, right? So sheet pan dinners are ones where you kind of take different components, you throw it all onto one sheet pan and you put it in the oven. Well, the oven's gotta be on for this thing to work, but it's really easy, right? So this looks like a ridiculous amount, but this is actually a cabbage apple sausage skillet. Okay, no, sheet pan. Oh my goodness, sheet pan. And it's actually got, I don't know if you can tell, it's got potatoes. Okay, so see how the potatoes got like a little crispy on the bottom? So I made a lot because it's basically a whole head of cabbage. It's 4 small potatoes, and I don't mean like little baby potatoes. They're like probably that big, like computer mouse size. And then we got 4 apples, which were just standard apples. I meant to have one right in front of me here and I forgot. Just like your standard size apples, not like the gigantic Honey Crisps that are bigger than your face, okay? But just 4 of those apples, and then it's a package of the Adele's chicken apple sausage, okay? So it's just a few ingredients and then lots of curry powder, and then you just mix it all together and you bake it, okay? So that made a ton, but it's really great because, what did I say is in it? It's cabbage, it's potatoes, there's actually onions too. If you're not an onion fan, you could leave that out. It's the chicken sausage, and I'm missing something, but anyways, there's veggies and fruits galore all in one dish. All right, so I know it's kind of like, oh, that's all one color, but really there's so much fiber in there. There's so many nutrients. It's really filling, and it's really, really good. All right, so I'm working on that recipe right now, but if you want it now, you can just hit me up with like a hashtag recipes below. I'll reach out to you and we can talk about what I do to make it. Then you can try it at home. because it's not like some big fancy thing that you can't do. All right, it's really, really easy. All right, so that is almost everything. But if you've been watching my videos, you know that last week I tried using a sourdough discard. Okay, so I have a friend who gave me a little bit of her sourdough starter, and I've been growing it and I've been loving it, and it's been fantastic. I usually can't keep anything alive, so this is really cool. But this week I made a oh, he's really excited. Little man is like, yes, I want to try this. This is a jalapeno cheese sourdough. Okay, so it's like cute little loaf, right? You can see the cheese here, and I mean, I don't know what it tastes like. Obviously, this is the full loaf, so I have not. Oh, I can smell it though. It does smell like sourdough. Success. But I'm gonna try this probably tomorrow and see how it goes with my eggs in the morning. All right, so hopefully today you have seen that meal prep and in essence meal planning is not something that you can't do. Okay, that's a double negative, but you can totally do this. All right, I know you're stressed, I know you're sleep deprived, I mean I am over here, and I can do this, which means you can do this. Okay, second, I gave you a lot of different flavor options here. If you're in a meal, I don't know if you can hear this baby, but he's hilarious. He's starting to babble. Okay, so I gave you plenty of recipe ideas, okay? Remember, if you want any of these recipes, I will hit you up with links. So just hashtag recipes and we'll chat, okay? But I gave you plenty of ideas. So if you're in a rut, if you're like, oh, I'm so sick of planning because everyone complains because it's the same 3 things, let me know. I will help, okay? So yeah, hashtag recipes and I'll talk with you. One last thing before I go. All right, we're having the cabbage skillet. Nope. Oh, gosh dang it. It's not a skillet. This sleep deprivation, man. Cabbage sheet pan dinner. I used a whole head of cabbage, except just a little bit. And that is what little man is trying this week. All right. So I put it in my baby food maker and I just cooked it on like the longest setting. And then I pureed it. Honestly, I did a little taste test and it sort of reminds me, oddly enough, of mashed potatoes. So I think he's gonna like it because he likes mashed potatoes. But anyways, that's what we're having this week, guys. I hope you're inspired and I hope I get to hear all about how you decided to try meal planning, okay? So until next week, see ya and enjoy those planning times.